Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Middleware Technologies. Today we'll be looking at how we can collect system level metrics using the Node Exporter metrics plugin in fluent-bit. So there are different ways wherein we can collect the system level metrics. So if we go into the documentation of fluent-bit, so you can go into the fluent-bit documentation over here and check out for data pipelines and input plugins. So here you can explore the different input plugins that are supported by fluent-bit. So here you can see we have different plugins which can be used to collect the system level metrics like CPU, disk, we have memory, we have process log based metrics. So these plugins which will help you collect the system level metrics, but they are like a piece by piece plugins that are available from fluent-bit. But Node Exporter metrics is the preferred way to collect the system level metrics if you actually want to capture the system level activity at a whole host level. So in this video, we will try to see how we can configure our fluent-bit with Node Exporter metrics plugin as an input, and we will try to expose that captured metrics using the Prometheus Exporter output plugin. So I'm currently working on Fedora 39 workstation with Ansible 2.16.2 installed on my system. So let us see how we can achieve this in this video. So as a first step, we need to ensure that fluent-bit service is up and running. So in our previous video, we have seen how we can set up a default installation of fluent-bit using the default configuration and get it up and running. So you can look at my video on how to install and configure fluent-bit using Ansible in order to set up the fluent-bit in the default configuration. The next step is updating the fluent-bit configuration. So as I said, we are going to use the Node Exporter metrics plugin as an input plugin, which will help us in collecting the system level metrics like CPU, disk, network, process, statistics. And also we are going to expose the metrics that we have collected on port 2021 using the Node Exporter plugin. And here we are additionally collecting the metrics related to the fluent-bit service. So for this we are going to use the plugin fluent-bit metrics. So this is the configuration file that we are going to use. So let me go into my shell and open my project in VS Code. So here, if I go to role Linux configure fluent-bit templates and check out for Node Exporter Prometheus configuration, this is the configuration file that we are creating in order to use the Node Exporter plugins. So here you can see we are using the Node Exporter metrics as the input plugin, and we are going to tag those records using node_metrics. So whatever records are getting logged, so they will be tagged using node_metrics, and we are going to scrape it at 2-second interval. So basically we are asking Node Exporter to scrape or collect the metrics from the system at at an interval of 2 seconds. And the next plugin that, as I said, like we are using the fluent-bit underscore metrics plugin, which is basically like providing us with the statistics of the fluent-bit service. And both this metrics which we have collected, like the system level metrics and the fluent-bit service metrics, we are going to like collect or output it into the standard output, and also we are outputting it to the Prometheus Exporter on port 2021. So that is something about the Node Exporter Prometheus configuration file that we are going to like use in this video. Now let us go into our next step, that is exposing the Prometheus Exporter port. So here what we are going to do is we are going to expose the 2021 port, which on which we are going to like look at the statistics of the system level metrics. We are going to expose that port at the firewall level. So let me show you the role that we are going to use for that purpose. So this is a role Linux expose fluent-bit, wherein we are going to expose the Prometheus endpoint, exporter endpoint, that is 2021, and we are going to enable it immediately and refresh the firewall service. So we are going to refresh the firewall service once the following port has been added. And coming to the next step, that is step 4, like we need to update our Ansible playbook. So this is the Ansible playbook, wherein we already have the role for configure fluent-bit, and we are just going to run it with the specific fluent-bit configuration file. Then we are going to expose the port 2021 using the Linux expose fluent-bit role. So we have updated our playbook, that is Linux setup fluent-bit, with the following new role. Now let us go into our next step, that is step 5. So step 5 is basically updating our readme instructions in order to show us like how we can execute that specific role. So right now, like we have created this new role, new configuration file, that is node exporter Prometheus config file. So we need to update our configuration file using this following playbook, which will basically update this following configuration file on the remote manager node. And then we are going to restart our fluent-bit service. So before that, we need to also run the expose role, like basically exposing the port. So now it's time to update the fluent-bit configuration file. So for that, like what we are going to do is we are going to start up our service. Let's start up our virtual machine. So this is the like virtual machine that I am managing using Ansible playbook. It is still coming up. Okay, now I am on my virtual machine, that is FETS. Okay, so let me open my local terminal, that is fedserv. So now let us try to update the fluent-bit configuration using the following command, wherein like we are running the Linux setup fluent-bit with the following inventory slash hosts host file, which contains our managing node host name, and we are passing this extra vars variable. Basically this is the variable fluent-bit config template, which is pointing to the node exporter Prometheus config file, which we are going to upload and like configure for the fluent-bit service. Then like we are basically passing this tag so that we are going to run this specific task in the Linux setup fluent-bit playbook. Okay, so let me run this. So now you can see like it has executed the task like uploading fluent-bit configuration file. So let me go into my remote machine and go into the fluent-bit configuration location and try to look at the fluent-bit config file. So here like you can see we have two input plugins, that is node exporter metrics and the fluent-bit metrics, and the output plugin wherein we are outputting it onto the standard output and the Prometheus Exporter on port 2021. Now before starting the service, we need to expose the Prometheus Exporter port. So for that, let us go into our step 7, wherein we are going to run the following task. So here like we are going to execute our playbook with the following tag, that is Linux expose fluent-bit, so that the specific task is going to be executed rather than the complete playbook. Okay, so I'm running it on my manager node. I should be running it on the local machine where I have Ansible installed. So basically it is from the controller machine. So here you can see it has exposed the Prometheus endpoint and it has restarted the fluent-bit service. So you can just validate it. So you need to run it with sudo in order to list out all the services and the ports that are exposed. So here you can see the port 2021 has been exposed on the protocol, like TCP protocol, in the default firewall zone. And we have also restarted the firewall service. So you can see it has just got restarted like 1 minute back and it is up and running. So why we are exposing this port in the sense is like on Fedora on Fedora server, basically like we have this firewall service up and running by default, and if we want to access this metrics that we are collecting using the node exporter metrics on port 2021 from a remote location or a remote client, we won't be able to access it without actually opening that port or allowing to access that port from a remote machine or remote client. So that is the whole purpose of exposing that port. Now like it is time to restart the fluent-bit service. So we have updated our fluent-bit configuration file with the node exporter metrics plugins, and we have like exposed the required ports. Now it is time to restart the fluent-bit service using the following. Command, wherein like basically like we are running the Linux setup playbook by passing the specific tag, that is restart. So we are running Linux restart fluent-bit task specifically. So let us run it, and this will ensure that the fluent-bit service has been restarted after the plugin after the fluent-bit configuration has been updated. So now if you clear your screen on the remote machine or remote manager node and check the fluent-bit service status, like it has just got restarted and it is up and running. And also you can see the fluent-bit basically started collecting the system level metrics in the Prometheus fashion. So if you want to look at the details, like you can just go to journal.ctl -follow unit fluent-bit. So basically like we are trying to follow the logs for the fluent-bit service. So here you can see like it has started collecting the storage, the process, so everything related to the system. So it has started collecting the metrics for at an interval of 2 seconds. The same metrics like what we have collected, like we are exposing it onto the port 2021. So we can just go to our browser and go to so this is my remote manager node host name, and this is the port which we have exposed. So we have it is the port on which we are collecting the metrics. So it has shown the fluent-bit Prometheus Exporter is up and running on this port 2021, and now we need to append the metrics context so that we get to see the whole system level metrics that it has started collecting. So you can see it has started collecting the CPU, the disk related activities, and the node the memory activities. So everything related to the system, like it is able to collect is using in the Prometheus fashion. So this is how like we will be able to like basically collect all the system level metrics using one single plugin, that is Node Exporter plugin, instead of using separate plugins for CPU, memory, process and disk IO activity as they are provided by the fluent-bit like input plugins that are supported. So we have seen at the fluent-bit logs, and we have also exposed we have also seen the metrics on the following URL. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you all. Thanks for watching this video, and you guys have a great day.